So, just a couple of days to the start of the Women's African Cup of Nations, and Ghana have taken part in their final game. They faced the Nigerian Super Falcons. Unfortunately, it did not end well for the Ghana Black Queens. It has ended in a defeat. We'll talk about them and the goal scorers as well as the results and what it means for us looking ahead into the competition proper, which kicks off on the 5th of July. We're also going to talk about the Club World Cup. PSG just hammered Inter Miami 4-0. They progress to the quarterfinal and a chance to win both the Champions League and the Club World Cup in the same year, which seems to be something that usually happens. We'll talk about the Chelsea game yesterday and how the weather conditions so far, especially in this tournament, has affected how football is being played here. It's unfortunate, but we've seen some bizarre circumstances that have led to games being postponed and having to be restarted. Yesterday was another such example. Is the United States the best place to host the World Cup next year? I think it's too late to ask that question, but we'll look into that as well as usual. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Click on that notification bell to get more updates. We'll jump right into it and first talk about the Ghana Black Queens. Today, they played their final preparatory game ahead of their African Cup of Nations campaign, the Women's AFCON in Morocco. Now, they've been pitching camp in Morocco for a couple of weeks now and playing friendlies. They played Malawi, they played Benin, won both games after coming back from behind. But it was too much with the Nigerian Super Falcons, who emphatically beat them 3-1. Ghana went into this game having two wins to boost their confidence. Kim Lars Bjorkegren has come under a lot of pressure and a lot of criticism because his team has not been doing the needful. Fortunately, this time they were able to do it and they got the two wins. Unfortunately, this final one was a bit too far for them. They lost 3-1 to the Nigerian Super Falcons team, who are 9 times African Cup of Nations champions, looking for the 10th title, which would put them in some serious Hall of Fame. But Kim Lars would have learned a lot from this international friendly, the final one. Now, remember, Ghana's campaign begins on the 7th of July, and then the 11th, and then the 14th. They'll play their final game. Ghana will be playing South Africa, Mali, and Tanzania in those 3 games. Today's game saw Alice get us a consolation goal, and Nigeria got the lead in the 34th minute before a penalty from Asisato Shola, and finally, third goal was scored for them. They will be confident entering into this one, but the last time out when they played in this competition, they were that much confident. Unfortunately, South Africa, who had been trying so hard to do well in this competition, eventually got the better of them. South Africa have been losing to Nigeria for years. They tried and tried, and eventually it worked out for them. Nigeria will hope that they can make it number 10, but Ghana will be hoping to also go for glory. It's been 2 times we've not been in this competition. This is the third time, and we got in after 2018. We missed out on the last 2 editions, and it was unfortunate. This is not going to be a World Cup qualifier competition, as I've already stated in the past. I made that mistake in mentioning that it would be, but it will not be a World Cup qualifier competition. There'll be another competition next year that will determine who makes it into the World Cup. So eventually we will find out then. But the Black Queens suffer an emphatic defeat versus Nigeria. They are opponents that favored does not favor us in the past. History wise, Nigeria mostly get the better of Ghana. But we thought we could make a difference. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and it ended in a defeat here for the Ghana Black Queens. Back to the drawing board, and in I think 1 week time, the tournament itself will kick off. Morocco, the host, will take center stage on the 5th of July, 6th, and then the 7th we will have Ghana and Nigeria also taking center stage. Today was the second day of the round of 16 for the Club World Cup. We'll be there for the quarterfinal. There are no games here in New Jersey in the round of 16, so nothing much from the stadium. But we've been following the games closely, and we've seen some performances from some players and teams. Yesterday was quite a bizarre situation that saw Benfica and Chelsea have to halt their game due to poor weather for close to 2 hours before they came back and played in the second half, and it led to that Di Maria equalizer. Eventually, Chelsea found the way to win. Is this going to be something weird? Already, we've seen games, I think 4 or 5 games halted due to poor weather, heat waves, or whatever it is. It seems like there's a reason why the summer here is an off season. The weather conditions are not favorable for football or whatever. But the decision has been made already. Calls for FIFA to reconsider are a bit too late, in my opinion. We have to manage with what we got. Yesterday was quite weird. Football being paused for over 1 hour and continued. But crazier things have happened in the game. And if it will ensure the safety of the team and the players, I don't think it's a bit too far fetched. It happened in, I think, 4 other games out of 48 games. Let's manage that. It's a bizarre situation, but we have to compromise. Sometimes Chelsea will play Palmeiras in the quarterfinal. PSG today, Lionel Messi's Inter Miami, a game in which the first half it could have been more than 4 goals. I think they put their foot off the pedal in the second half. It ended 4-0 in the end. Luis Enrique, some say, telling his team to take it a bit easy on the Inter Miami team. They look lost. Lionel Messi looked like he was he could not cope with the pace of the game. He could not cope with the pace of the PSG team, and in the end, they were found wanting heavily. They were found wanting. It's unfortunate, but c'est la vie. Next year, we'll see them here in the World Cup. We'll see how that one goes for them. But PSG have emphatically beaten Inter Miami 4-0 to progress. They will know their opponents later on. And that is how I'll end it for today. Bringing you updates on the Ghana Black Queens. Fortunately, they lost 3-1 to the Nigerians in their final preparatory game of the women's AFCON. They will kick off on the 6th of July, on the 7th of July, 11th, and then the 14th. We'll see how well they can do in the competition. They are returning to after missing out on the last 2 editions. Also been talking to you about the competition in the Club World Cup. Bizarre circumstances, especially with Benfica and Chelsea yesterday, and the emphatic win by Paris Saint-Germain over into Miami. Your thoughts in the comments box. Who is winning it all in the end? I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your evening.